What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and the day has finally arrived. It's finally here, and Naughty Dog is taking a huge L right now because this day came a lot sooner than it should have. But people are fed up. All of the retailers, all the stores that bought tons and tons of copies of The Last of Us Part 2, knowing that it was one of the most highly anticipated releases of the year, thinking that they were going to be selling this game at full price for months on months on months. They've had enough. They are finally putting this thing at a major discount because they have to get rid of the stock. Everywhere around the world, there are piles of The Last of Us Part 2 that remain unsold. And it's now at a discount nearly worldwide. We're going to take a look at all this, talk about what it means for this game and for Naughty Dog. And we'll start right here with an actual article about it. And then we'll look at some of the discounts because I have a lot of you guys tag me and stuff. Send me DMs. I do appreciate that. I can't get to each and every notification or each and every DM. But when you guys do send me stuff, I do really appreciate it. So we're going to go through some of that. This article here from GameSpot. The Last of Us 2 receives its first major discount. The Last of Us 2 released for PS4 in June, and if you've held off this long, 2.5 months, you can snag it at a nice little discount. Keep in mind that there were tons of availability for pre-owned copies of The Last of Us Part 2 right after its release because so many people immediately tried to return it because they were upset with it. We saw the backlash, whether it was on social media or on Metacritic itself, where it received very divisive reviews. We covered that a ton. I'm sure you guys all know that. But let's take a look at what they say. Marquee first-party games don't usually get discounts until long after release, but PS4 users can now snag The Last of Us Part 2 at a great price, thanks to its first major markdown since launch. You can buy The Last of Us Part 2 for $50 from Amazon, and the deal's also available from Best Buy and GameStop. And if you get it at GameStop, you can get it for $45 today. Now, we're going to take a look at that too. But it's important to note, just like he said, these huge releases like this, they do not usually get marked down. A brand new game does not usually get marked down only 2.5 months after its release. You know why it gets marked down like that? When there are tons of copies sitting on everyone's shelves. We've showed you guys, every couple of weeks I do an update video about this from people that send me pictures from Walmart, Target, Best Buy, even in places not in America. I've got pictures from Canada. I've got pictures from the Philippines before. Everywhere there are copies of The Last of Us Part 2. We talked about how those record-breaking numbers all involve shipping, the number of copies shipped, right? That's an important distinction because that's how many people order in anticipation of it selling. But with everything that Naughty Dog has done, the backlash was real. This is really telling, guys, because this means that what we've been saying sounds like it's been right, that everywhere they're sitting there with copies of The Last of Us Part 2 remaining unsold. And it's not just on Amazon, it's not just in America. You go to game.uk, set 5 years after their dangerous journey, experience a beautiful yet dangerous world with The Last of Us Part 2, save £15. Now, you might be asking, maybe you're not familiar. So £15, originally this game was £50, the standard price, and now £50, $49.99. £15 off of that is $34.99. You're looking right there, that's a 30% discount for The Last of Us Part 2 in the UK. 30% off. You look at that $45 number, that $45 number that you can get from GameStop right now, that's 25% off. These are the kind of numbers that we're seeing essentially all the way around the world. And shout out to NevG. Appreciate that, NevG, for tagging myself, Geeks and Gamers, and Mannix. Guys, if you guys are not subscribed to Mannix and you want to hear some awesome rage videos about The Last of Us Part 2, the dude is hilarious. Highly recommended subscribing to him. Great dude, awesome content. Make sure you check him out. But, and it's not just in the UK, not just in America. I had someone, let's see, I think it was Donovan. I think Donovan sent me this. Yes, Donovan Katunken. Thank you, man. I appreciate you letting me know. This is in the Philippines. Look at all these discounts for The Last of Us Part 2. Here, we'll pull this up. You can see just like we said before, originally, that's around 3,000 Philippine, I don't know if it's Philippine dollars, I don't know what currency in the Philippines is, but it's 3,000 of them down to 2,500. It's not just in America. It's not just a one-time thing. This game is going to go on sale for a while. And for all of you who try to tell me that, oh, all the collector's edition, all the elite edition are sold out, spoiler alert, they're not. I've had people send me pictures of them sitting in Best Buys and GameStops. These are not sold out, and in fact, they're discounted. The collector's edition of The Last of Us Part 2 that you tried to tell me was sold out is now discounted only 2.5 months later. That's all it took for them to have to put this on a huge sale. Now, the reason being, we know the reason that this is happening. Look in Germany. Look at what we saw in Germany in late August. Shout out to WBS for tagging myself and Mannix in this. I had a ton of people send me this picture. Somebody posted this on Reddit. It was taken in Germany. I forget the exact town it was, but you can see it. Look at this. Look at all these copies of The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I can't verify how many are in each stack, but I know in this one we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I'm going to assume, listen, you have to assume there's at least 25 copies sitting there, if not more. Like, all at one store. All at one store. It doesn't look like it's been picked through too well, does it? I've told you my story about the Best Buy that hasn't sold a single copy of The Last of Us Part 2 through the entire month of August, and they still have 100 copies sitting on their back shelves. I had more people, right? This is at a Best Buy. I mean, this is probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're looking at 17 copies of The Last of Us Part 2 there. Not counting probably what they have in the back, just like everyone else. Philip Hawkins sent me this. This isn't even including what's out there on all of the end caps, what's out there in the normal shelf. This is just extra copies of The Last of Us Part 2 that I have sitting in a random bin because these aren't selling. People don't want to buy this game. The word of mouth has destroyed the sales for Naughty Dog. And personally, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that this has happened, that word got out there, even though they were doing their best, weren't they? Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, Sony did their best to try to silence us, to try to silence myself, Mannix, Geeks and Gamers, Mr. H Reviews, just some guy, Az from Heel vs. Babyface, more people than I can even name, Mara Jade, Lethal Lightning. All received false copyright strikes on our channels for talking shit about this game, for discussing the leaks about this game. In a lot of cases, people that didn't even show a still image got struck just for talking about the backlash surrounding the leaks. I know there might be a lot of you who are new to this channel, didn't even realize that happened, but it did. I had 2 false copyright strikes on this channel. I was at the brink of termination because Naughty Dog did not want us to get the word out there about what they had done, about how they had dishonored the legacy of Joel, about what they had done lying to you, making you believe that you and Ellie and Joel would be interacting current day, not telling us that Abby would be a playable character for effectively half of the game. All of these things that they tried to trick the public with has all backfired on them. They will not admit it. I'm sure they won't. And a lot of their fanboys will not admit it either. The fact that this game is going on this big of a discount, right, only 2.5 months after release. This isn't like a holiday discount or anything. It's not like Black Friday's coming up, they have a good deal. No. These are just discounts because the game isn't selling. Bottom line. And if you can't understand that, if you don't believe that, then that's fine. I'm sure there's going to be some of you that don't because you refuse to believe that kind of thing, no matter how many people tell you. Don't be surprised if you go out there on Black Friday and you see this game at half off. That's legitimately a possibility. This game could be at half off during Black Friday deals. That's how pathetic it is for Naughty Dog. And honestly, you got to consider that a big disappointment for Sony. Now, this game, I do think this game is still going to make money. It had a big first weekend. We know it did. But we also know that a lot of those numbers are inflated because of the simple fact that we were talking about shipping numbers, not sales numbers. And turns out a lot of these places are eager to get rid of their backload of these games. hundreds at one Best Buy of games that are sitting there unsold. What do you guys think about all this? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.